face it, zero to hero stories are portrayed best when an anime is the one doing the narration. Ever since the advent of time itself, we've had so many shows feature the weak kid training to become the Sigma male that floats all over the internet in this day and age, because of the meme era we have on our hands. But even looking back, there are titles that stand out compared to the rest, shows that did it better with the protagonist adding a lot to this charm of the title. With that being said, let's see some faces grown to the OP characters we know today. One Punch Man. When an anime starts off with every other element trolling to the very next level, you know something's up. I'm pretty sure we all can agree that mistaking the title for a gag comedy like Psyche K was the only explanation we had in our heads. But boy, did the show hit us right in the face while trying its hardest to not feature a serious setting by any means. From a neat adult trying to find a job to failing an interview, pretty standard textbook stuff that we found ourselves into as well. But let's face it, none of us have had our hair kiss that final goodbye to our head since for strength, Saitama had to shoulder the egg face for the rest of his life. Well, what's keeping you? His regiment's pretty out there, so better get to work. Gurren Lagann. An anime where a unique art style does total justice to an underground setting is sure to be filled with action for its entirety of its runtime, right? Well, Simon wouldn't agree with us totally since the boy suffered a lot, his own life changing more than just a couple of times throughout the series. I mean, thinking back, Gurren Lagann had a lot going on, from the trio soon becoming a force to be reckoned with, to Vile and the others trying to wipe it all together with themselves. That time skip was totally unexpected and one of the most wonderful surprises anime has given us to date. Plus, watching Simon grow from that timid, weak-willed kid to become the face of the galaxy, the show itself was such a befitting ending to the legacy left behind in his hands. My Hero Academia. Shonen Jump. High school and superpowers being named as quirks. This is going to be a good one, boys. Wait, what? The main character is the odd one with no power or ability to boot? Are we really going down that road? My Hero Academia had generated a lot of hype back in the day, with people claiming for it to dethrone Naruto the moment the first episode came out. I mean, we gotta give credit to the show here, since not only did it manage to amass such a huge audience in such a short time, but it featured a rather unique I wanna eat your pancreas with hair being the main course on tonight's menu. The true sins and burdens of being the savior of society and the harbinger of justice is hammered into each and every one of us, with Deku trying to fight it all by himself, even with the body that's ready to give up on him any second. Quanzhi Fashi. Chinese animation has really been popping off a lot as of late. Fog Hill of the Five Elements, The King's Avatar, and Link Click, but you see there are a lot of these underdogs, hidden gems that are just waiting for the right type of audience to discover them. Quanzhi Fashi takes magic to the very next level with the protagonist who is nothing while being blessed with everything at the same instance. Seeing the guy master elements like it's a piece of cake at best makes the other anime wizards all insecure and sweating, cause this guy is the very definition of being gifted. Follow his academic life as he hones his skills to become one of the best there is, while the anime throws at him all it's got, since that's how you get a character overpowered and godly, no? Akatsuki no Yona. Teenage love is the hardest, to be honest. You can't really be vocal about it since the fear of rejection makes living itself a total nightmare. But have you ever imagined what it'd feel like to have the apple of your eye, the love of your life, do something so irredeemable that you cease to exist as the soul you used to be a second ago? Having experienced hell in a single night, Yona's totally baffled as to what she's supposed to do, how she's supposed to get back what was lost and stolen from her. Now on the quest to become stronger, to gather allies who would swear their very lives to the maiden herself, witness a journey that features one of the most beautiful paths any anime has featured before. You'll have a war going on in your head when it comes to the favorite character, since every other dragon would make a new contender pop up all of a sudden. Kenichi, the mightiest disciple. Getting bullied by every other random on the campus sums up a pretty miserable life for an anime protagonist. But if that gets you in a situation where you can train with the best of the best while having a hottie as your sparring partner, isn't that a trade we're all more than willing to take? Kenichi's lame, we all agree, but the obstacles he's overcome to become who he is today shows how dedicated and true he was to his purpose since the very beginning. Seeing the guy get stronger and stronger by the episode while taking out some of the biggest baddies the anime has to offer gives us that dose of comedy, action, and entertainment in a single plate. One that we can't help but order over and over again. The way the show manages to keep the most tense situations as lighthearted as possible is something that's limited to itself. Fate's Day Night, Unlimited Blade Works. We added this adaptation of the never-ending universe because it portrayed the struggles of the righteous Miyashiro in full swing, not skipping on anything at all. It's always hard in the very beginning. No one's been a prodigy since day one. That's what the boy knew as clear as it gets, since mastering that trace over and over again finally made him realize the power he holds deep within him. Sure, Tosaka was there to give him that head start and make him fight it out whenever he was in a pinch, but let's give the guy some credit here, since fighting the very Gilgamesh in a reality marble isn't a feat anyone can accomplish to tell the tale of it. From getting tossed around like a baby to overpowering and dismembering the greatest to ever live, Emiya's heart is something else for sure. Parasyte. Having a talking hand isn't all that uncommon, especially in real life if you get what I mean. But Parasyte took it up a notch with a knife that changed Izumi Shinichi for the rest of his life. Now with Migi by his side and him being the chosen one, life could either be super peaceful with him sealing his lips or as bloody as it gets, him utilizing that newly found weapon to the fullest. But all's changed after that incident that shakes him from within, makes him view the world in a totally different hue. Now on the hunt for creatures that threaten him and what he holds dear, it's going to be a bloodbath with neither side giving way as long as there's even an ounce of life in their bodies. With fights that bring the best the studio has to offer and a plot that's still regarded as one of the best to ever exist, Parasyte isn't a show you can write off as being old by any means. Hajime no Ippo. A lot of you Megalobox fanboys need to calm down, since there's a lot more to boxing than just a random Joe. Running into a world-renowned boxer by sheer luck isn't something that's even listed in the coincidences list. But Makunochi sure was in luck, since that fateful encounter with Takamura is going to change his life soon enough. A body he's trained by helping with the family business and perseverance and dedication to become a better version of himself. Seeing the guy's journey as he goes from losing spars against newbies to becoming the champion itself features blood, sweat, and tears that brings hard work at its very best to the screen. Foes that you can't help but look forward to as the show goes on, Hajime no Ippo is without a doubt a total gem when it comes to sports anime. Tokyo Ghoul. To become stronger in order to survive, in order to live. Kaneki's fate was cursed the moment he saw that girl in that coffee shop. The guy sure gave a lot of us boys pure PTSD, making approaching some Starbucks girl next to impossible. But we can't turn a blind eye to what he has to endure throughout the entirety of the series. Being the newest in the herd, you're bound to get hunted by the big dogs that rule the lot. The same was for Kaneki. That's what I think is the most beautiful thing about Tokyo Ghoul. The way it shows that in life, anything can happen and things can always make you, force you to do stuff you didn't ever see yourself being a part of. The boy has to become stronger while overcoming his fears to have a shot at the life he was this close to losing. Choosing between life and death wasn't a luxury he was blessed with, and now in the middle of a reality he never wanted, the misery of King Kaneki begins.